Hello there, fellow adventurers. This is a totally unscripted update, which is why I can't really think of what to say right now, because I don't have a script. Uh, I'm going to talk about my recent experience going to PAX West 2022. So, this is actually the first time that I've been to PAX West. I didn't really have much of a reason to go before, but I had a really good reason this time. In fact, several good reasons, which I'll talk about in a minute. Um, so I went for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Here are my passes right here.
Lilu Dallas Multipass.
So I flew over to Seattle from London, UK, last Friday, and then I met up with my friend Joshua from Weird Gaming Adventure and his wife, and we went to this place called GameWorks, and they have a lot of arcade games there and kind of like fair type games, and so like we played some of those, like including air hockey, which was pretty intense. And it was cool to hang out with him. We do a podcast together, and it was actually the first time that I met him in person. Of course, going to these conventions is like the perfect opportunity to meet people that you wouldn't otherwise meet, that you just see online or you see on YouTube or whatever. And then the next day, Saturday, first thing I did was meet up with Trolls, the Space Quest historian, and we went for coffee with his friend Eric, who's from the Magic Map Studio, and he produced this vinyl record right here, King's Quest V, Songs of Serenia. So after hanging out with them, I headed over to the convention, and one of the first things I did was I stopped by the Colossal Cave booth. And if you didn't already know, Colossal Cave is the first project from Ken and Roberta Williams' new studio, Cygnus Entertainment. And it's a reimagining of the old Colossal Cave text adventure, which is what inspired Roberta Williams to get into game design. So I was able to try out the game for the first time in VR, which is actually the first time that I've ever used VR. And it was a really awkward experience. Marcus Mera from Cygnus Entertainment was trying to teach me how to use the controls, but like I'm really not used to that. I'm used to just playing PC games. So Marcus did his best to try and show me how to control the game, but I was still getting used to it, so I didn't really get very far.
What's your initial reactions?
It's great. No, I like it.
Yes.
I want to play more. I got to get used to the VR controls. Honestly, yeah.
So give it a 5-star rating.
Huh?
Give it a 5-star rating.
Oh, I'd have to play more of it, but it's pretty.
So it's 5 out of 5.
I'd say it's a 5.
To be determined.
He didn't get down to the Alice in Wonderland part, the rabbit hole with color and fantasy.
Oh, and also at the Colossal Cave booth, I met Jeff Tripoli, who was also working there with at the booth, along with Marcus Mera and some others, and he showed me this book, which I hadn't really looked at before, The Guide to Classic Graphic Adventures by Kurt Kalada. And so I decided to get a copy for myself. And if you look on the back, it has like a picture of Roberta Williams there with some candles, and kind of looks like some kind of shrine to Roberta Williams, which is kind of similar to what I did in one of my videos, where I put candles by her photo and prayed to it. I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. I get 3 points for bowing. I'm not worthy. Anyway, so apart from the Colossal Cave booth, I walked around, just had a look at all the other exhibits. Of course, the other exhibit which I really wanted to see was for Return to Monkey Island, and they had a whole setup there where they had cardboard cutouts of all the characters, and you could take a photo with them. I got a photo with my friend Josh from Weird Gaming Adventure there. And this is me holding my three-headed monkey, which I brought with me. I also gave my three-headed monkey to Ron Gilbert to hold, and we took a photo with him and Dave Grossman and Dominic Armato. Dave Grossman being the writer-producer for Monkey Island, if I'm not mistaken. And Dominic Armato is the voice of Guybrush Threepwood.
Ooh, wait a minute. Something very strange is going on here. Do not attempt to adjust your set.
And apart from getting a photo with them, I also got all of their signatures. I got them to sign this book, The Art of Point-and-Click Adventure Games, which I bring with me to conventions so that people can sign. So I had a few other signatures in here already, but I got them to sign the Monkey Island page, obviously, if I can find it. Where is it? Oh, here we are, 1990, and if you can see right there, like all three of them signed that. Oh, and also at the Return to Monkey Island exhibit, I also met David Fox, and I was able to get a photo with him and get his signature right there on his own page. He developed Zap McCracken, among other games. Yeah, so I did that, and then the other booth, which I found just by accident. I wasn't looking for it or anything. It was actually for another adventure game called the Spirit of Midnight, and it's a story about a cat, and all of the characters are animals, which is ironic considering that I've just been doing animal games recently with Lord Winklebottom and Inspector Waffles. So this is another animal adventure game starring this cat right here, and I was able to play the demo. Like, they actually had a really cute setup where, like, you know, people could sit down on kind of tree trunks and giant mushrooms, like not real tree trunks and not real mushrooms, but you know, still, it was cool. And I thought it was really charming. You know, it's definitely an adventure game for all the family. You know, like, you know, kids can play it, but I just thought it was just so much fun to play. So that was an unexpected surprise. So don't forget to go to Steam and wish this that. The Spirit of Midnight, it's called. So yeah, so there was plenty of other booths there, of course, you know, but those are the three that I was most interested in. I did do a little bit of shopping. They were selling a lot of squishables there, and I did get a squishable chinchilla right here, which is kind of like my AGG mascot. Unfortunately, I had to leave my chinchillas behind when I moved from the US. So, you know, it's not the same as having a real chinchilla, but you know, like, I'm pleased that I have this now. So, getting on to the main event of the convention for me, there was a panel on adventure games, obviously. But not just any panel. It was a panel of heroes and legends of the adventure game industry, and you can see them all in the background right here. You have the moderator of the panel, Frank Cifaldi, Ron Gilbert, of course, creator of Monkey Island, Ken and Roberta Williams, founders of Sierra Online. Jane Jensen, creator of Gabriel Knight, of course. Al Lowe, creator of Leisure Suit Larry. And Dave Gilbert from What Did I Games. And I actually got a front row seat to this panel. And I have to thank Roberta Vaughn for making that possible. So if you weren't able to go to the panel, or you weren't able to see it online at all, there's a full video on Weird Gaming Adventure. I also took video, not of the entire panel, just like certain parts of it, and I'll play a little bit of that at the end, just at the end of this video, after I've talked about all the other things that happened over the weekend. That was one of the highlights for me, obviously. So I was able to get Al Lowe's signature right here on Leisure Suit Larry, right above the bed, which is an appropriate place. And I also got to meet Jane Jensen and Robert Holmes. Jane Jensen, developer of Gabriel Knight, and Robert Holmes, who did the soundtrack to Gabriel Knight: The Beast Within, which is one of my favorite adventure game soundtracks of all time. And I was able to get them to sign this, except that I didn't have like the right pen. I should have brought a Sharpie with me, and I just had to borrow someone's pen. I was upset about that because I should have thought ahead and brought some different Sharpies with me. My girlfriend did tell me to bring some Sharpies, but I didn't. So that's what happened. So And Dave Gilbert from Wodgenai Games, I actually already had got his signature when I saw him at Adventure X a few years ago, and so he signed this one right here, which is his game, the Shiva or Shiva. Here's another signature which I actually got previously at Adventure X. That's Trolls Plymouth, the Space Quest historian signature, and it says SQ for life. Well, I would write KQ for life, but never mind. So I think that's everyone's signatures. Of course, there's a couple important signatures that I was missing there. And that's Ken and Roberta Williams, which, if you don't already know, I'm a huge King's Quest fan. King's Quest 1 being my favorite adventure game of all time, and probably always will be. So on Sunday, I was hoping to meet them. I thought they would be at the Colossal Cave booth, so I kind of waited around as I waited around. And then my flight back to the UK was Sunday evening, and so it was getting kind of late, and so I had to kind of go to the airport soon, and so I went back to the Colossal Cave booth, and they still weren't there. They had just like kind of disappeared, and no one knew where they were, if they were coming back. And so I asked Marcus Mera there if it was possible to like find out where they were, if I was able to kind of meet them somehow. And so he texted Ken Williams, and he said, "Oh, can I come and come and meet them somewhere?" And then Ken Williams wrote back and said, "Sure, I can go meet them at their hotel." So I kind of rushed over to their hotel. And I was like, waiting in the lobby, and then they came down from their room, and they met me, and we kind of sat in the hotel lobby and had a chat. Then we got to take a few photos, and then they also signed my book here, which is pretty awesome. And I did actually, the funny thing was that I brought a whole bunch of Sharpies with me this time. And so I brought them all out. I said, okay, which Sharpie would you like to use? And then Ken Williams brings out this big orange Sharpie, and he's like, okay, well I think this would be the best one to use. And so I was like, all right, okay, we'll use Ken's Sharpie then. I mean, Ken's the boss, so I'm not gonna argue with him. So yeah. So that's why their signatures are in orange. But anyway, here's what they wrote. Ken says thanks for visiting, and Roberta Williams wrote to one of my best fans, and like the reason she wrote that was because I told her that I had kind of flown all the way over from England, mostly to meet them and also go to this panel and everything, which was true. I wasn't just making that up. So yeah, like that was a big deal for me. Yeah, so that was really like the perfect end to the convention for me. And then I had to rush off to the airport and fly back. It was absolutely worth the trip over there, and I'm also looking forward to going to Adventure X here in London in November. So anyway, I'll just end this video with a short section from the adventure game panel. As I said before, you can see the whole panel on Weird Gaming Adventure, but I thought I'd just show this one clip where all the panelists had to answer the question, what was your best and worst puzzle?
Alright, we'll start with the worst puzzle I've designed. It was a puzzle in Monkey Island involving a monkey wrench. And I think that it all seemed very clever to us, Americans, native English speakers. This thing called the monkey wrench. We all knew what a monkey wrench was. Why wouldn't everybody know what a monkey wrench was? Well, a lot of people don't. Even in like England, where they speak English, they call it a spanner, not a monkey wrench, which totally wrecks our puzzle. So I think that one of the lessons that we really took away from that is, like, if you're doing puzzle design, don't make it rely on kind of vernacular, the words for things. You can use that for humor, but don't actually use it for a puzzle. So I think that was the worst puzzle I designed. I think the best puzzle I designed, I don't know if it's the best, but it's the puzzle that I'm kind of most fond of. It was also from Monkey Island, where you had to break this character named Otis out of jail. And you did it by pouring grog on the jail lock, because grog is horribly corrosive. But you had no way of actually getting it up to his lock. If you put it in these little cups, it would melt the cups before you could get there. So the puzzle was you had to pick up like 3 or 4 of these cups and keep them in your inventory, and then transfer the grog from one cup to another while you got it up to the jail cell. And I think that's probably my most favorite puzzle.
What is Ken's favorite puzzle?
Yeah, Ken, you can answer.
Actually, I didn't do a heck of a lot as far as designing games. I did work with Al Lowe, though. I don't know if he remembers it, on the beginning of Leisure Suit Larry. We didn't want kids playing it, and I don't remember if Al came up with it or I did, but we did a little quiz at the beginning to test that people were 18 years old.
Ken, you came up with it. I'll give Ken full credit. We both had kids that were about the age that they would want to play Larry but shouldn't. And so Ken came up with the idea. We were playing Trivial Pursuit a lot back then too.
Yeah.
I think that was the impetus behind it. But yeah, he came up with the famous trivia quiz.
If you play that now, though, all the questions are so dated. It's asking political questions from 1984, something like that. Who remembers? Okay, Roberta.
Yeah, I've been trying to think. The thing that has come to my mind is, and it's not as fun as Ken's. Actually, you did a good job. Yeah, I was surprised.
I didn't do a lot of jobs, so it made it easy. Pick one.
I think what came to my mind is King's Quest 3. I think it's King's Quest 3. I have to admit, I get very mixed up about the King's Quest because there's 8 of them, and they kind of start running together a little bit in my mind. King's Quest 3, there was I introduced a son for King Graham and Queen Valenice, and he was kidnapped as a baby and taken and living with an evil wizard, of course, and grew up. Was given the name Gideon by the evil wizard, and to get out from being a prisoner of this, I think it was Manannan, was the name of the wizard. He had to learn the magic spells because the wizard was a magical wizard, and he had a book, and you could discover the book of the magic spells, and then Gideon, or you as the player, had to learn how to do the magic spells, find the objects that you needed and put them together. And I thought that was rather clever, but I don't know. That's one of my favorites, I would say.
It was also terrifying how Manannan would just randomly show up when you're like out and about trying to get the ingredients
His
and stuff.
black cat.
And it was a bitch to program.
But that would be my answer.
No answer for worse. Every puzzle was amazing. Jane, how about you?
Favorite.
I was gonna say that. Probably the one that's just, I was the most impressed with myself, just like the most complicated one I ever did was, GK3 was based on a real life legend about the bloodline of Christ, and it was set in the south of France, in Rouen-le-Château, and it involved a real life treasure mystery there. And so from the archives in France, there was this old, 200-year-old riddle about where the treasure was buried. And so I took it's called Le Serpent Rouge, and I took the riddle and actually tried to solve it. I went there, and so the player actually solves the real life riddle based on the free geometry of the valley and all that. So that was probably the most sort of complicated one I ever did. But somebody reminded me the other day of the video recording in GK2 where which I thought about that, and I thought that was really fun because, in the game, you have all these dialogue trees, right? And you just happen to have this video recorder so you can play back stuff. And so we actually ended up making a puzzle where you had to slice together different parts of this guy's speech to have him make a new sentence to have yourself led into the zoo. And I thought that was kind of fun because normally you have this dialogue system, you just don't even think about it as being related to your puzzle. It's just a totally separate thing. And so it was kind of a fun twist to make a puzzle out of the dialogue system.
I think the thing I was most proud of didn't get much notice, which was in Larry 7, one of the characters I stole from the idea from MASH. One of the characters was the PA system, the guy on the ship speaker who made announcements at various times, and they were often funny. But if your score remained the same for a certain period of time, he would start giving you hints.
Your attention, please. Megan, report to the scuba tank immediately.
And they would sound like announcements, but that was our hint system through the game. So I was very proud of that, but it turned out that almost nobody noticed. So, the worst. We had a party at my house one night, and everybody from Sierra came over, and we put out a bread loaf with spinach dip in it. And it sat out all night in the heat of Fresno. I didn't eat any of it, but Monday morning I called up to talk to Ken, and he was homesick. I said, well, is Rick in? And no, he's sick. And it turned out I had poisoned the whole damn company. So I thought that deserves to be in Larry 2, but it was a terrible puzzle and it was cruel to people. And the puzzle was, if you took the spinach dip with you on the life raft, you eventually died. So you did not take it, which is, sorry.
Is this my turn?
Yes.
Okay, my worst, easily, drugging the dog in Blackwell Legacy. It's a totally, the dog is innocent, you need to take the dog out, but the dog belongs to someone else, so you feed the dog a diuretic and offer to take it on a walk. It's a total sociopathic thing to do, totally out of character. I really regret that puzzle. Ironically, the dog...
Wait, two of you on this panel had puzzles about poisoning dogs. Ron.
And the dog was never seen in this series
They weren't
again.
dead.
So
It's very clear. There's a little message that comes up. There's no poodles were harmed in making this.
My favorite actually took a while to answer. As I said, I'm not really a puzzle guy, but one thing I do love doing is making a whole area into a puzzle where you have like 3 or 4 different rooms. This is an enclosed location, and doing something in one room affects another room, and you have to kind of explore and see how it all fits together. And the opening section of the last Blackwell game, the Blackwell Epiphany, you're in this like derelict building, and there was this elevator and a fuse box, and you can only like you can only like open up certain doors and send the elevator to certain floors and things like that. You had to like get an object from the top floor down to the bottom, and only using Rosa and Joey, because Joey can like go through walls and go through doors, and Rosa can't. So you kind of have to use the both of them in this very small location to solve the puzzle. And I'm very happy with how that one turned out.